What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Talk Punch. I am Brody, joined by Tudong Dylan.
Hey.
And I didn't think of a nickname for Charlie this week, so he's Charlie No Name, No Nickname Hickman.
I like Charlie No Name. We'll go with that.
Charlie No Name. That's it. I love it. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We love interacting with you guys, so please remember to be kind to the comments. And while you're here, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening in on the audio version of the podcast, wherever you get your podcast, make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, the star ratings, whatever service offers for you to rank us or rate us. We would appreciate a good rating, because it does help out. It helps out the YouTube, all the algorithms. We're trying to slide into that algorithm so that we can get more people viewing us. Then after you do that, make sure you come back here every Wednesday to hang out with us and see what we're talking about. Kind of like this week's topic, we are ranking 10 different franchises. We picked some really good, some of our favorite franchises. You get a little sneak peek behind Charlie there. But yeah, we're gonna rank them. We got our ranking format, so we picked 10, and we said, you know what, let's put these in order, because it's going to be difficult. These are some of our favorites, so there's probably going to be a lot of fighting,
Debating and or arguing. We're right each other.
A little bit of talk, a little bit of punch. What are you gonna do?
That's why we called it that. All right. So if you guys haven't seen these before, what we're gonna do, let me go ahead and bring up this screen here. So we have these franchises right here. We're gonna sit and we're gonna talk about them. We shuffle them all up into a draw pile, and then we're gonna place them into a board, and wherever they land, it may not be, they may move as we talk about it, but we will wind up with an official Talk Talk Punch top 10 of these franchises. All right, guys, how are you feeling about ranking these?
This is going to be tough. This is going to be really, really tough, because it's not like we've chosen. I mean, some of these have bad movies in their franchises. Some of the majority of their movies might be bad, but I mean, each one has at least one that is really great. And I mean, at least based off of that kind of a thing, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, even just picking franchises to rank was really hard. And
yeah,
so you notice that maybe your favorite beloved franchise isn't up here. That doesn't mean we don't also love it. It's just the ones that we ended up settling on. I have no idea what you guys are gonna want up in that top 3. I know what I want. And I think this is going to be one of the more hotly contested ones. I will say the margins for this one are going to be a lot thinner than, let's say, the Batmobiles, where there was a few
we're going to have to
stinkers.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, the whole top 10, these are all great franchises. We all love these franchises. So even number 10, even though it's the bottom of the list, we still love it. And we are ranking these as franchises. So kind of what Dylan was saying, we're looking at these as a franchise. So it's got, some of these have some amazing movies. Some of them have not great movies. We're kind of looking at the whole thing. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So for our audio listeners, the franchises we are ranking, we have Star Wars, we have Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, the Mad Max series, Rocky, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Pirates of the Caribbean, the Avengers. I want to specify this is not the MCU. We talked about this in our production stuff. We feel the MCU is comprised of lots of different little franchises, so we're just doing Avengers. And then Mission Impossible. All right.
Now, I'd like to say one thing that I'm thinking of is some of these I've seen absolutely all of. And some of these I haven't seen all of. Some of them I've given up on and been like, I haven't seen this one or that one. So that I'm going to say that's going to make a big difference for me, now that I think about it.
Interesting.
I have seen think I've seen all of them. I haven't seen the Creed movies for Rocky. I don't. Are we counting the Creed movies as part of the Rocky franchise, or just the Rocky movies?
I think you can,
Uh,
if it has the character Rocky in it, it counts as the Rocky franchise.
all right. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. All right, let's get into it. So here is our shuffle deck. It's all shuffled up. We don't know what order they're coming out. They're just going to come out. And then we're going to place them. Like I said, they may move. May not. They may move. All right, first up, we have the Indiana Jones franchise.
You know, a lot of people, when they think of Indiana Jones nowadays, they think about that fourth one. And the one thing that I didn't like the most about that fourth one, that was unlike the first three, and yes, I'll say three, was that it was boring. It didn't have that spark, because all of the other Indiana Jones movies, from Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom to The Last Crusade, had that spark where you can absolutely watch them. They're fun, they're exciting, they're funny. You've got Sean Connery in the third one, and you have like Sala throughout, who's fantastic. I mean, great performances all around. That's Steven Spielberg in some of his. I mean, he's relaxing, he's having fun, and he always is a fun director. But I mean, you've got the spectacle, you've got the action.
So where does this fall? Initial reaction, where does this fall?
4.
6.
6?
6, really? Why 6?
Because there's like 2 good movies.
What?
And one really, really bad one, and then one that's like, and then one that's like okay. But there is, if we want to give bonus points for the totality, I do enjoy the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, and I did watch some Young Indiana Jones, the TV show. So, if we get bonus points, then we can move that up. And there's so many good franchises. I don't 5. I don't know. I think this one might be in my bottom half.
I love 1 and 3, but I'm sort of falling along lines with Charlie. We have a lot of really good franchises.
6,
I'm thinking let's start it at 6.
Okay.
Man,
Or Dylan.
Indy 4 really sullied this franchise.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, those first 3, come on. It was so...
But hey, maybe the 5th one will be great.
Oh God. What?
The odd numbers, it's got to be good, right?
Maybe.
It has to be.
Maybe. All right, next up we have Harry Potter. Now, Dylan, you're a big fan of this franchise.
I love this franchise. I read the books, and I will tell you this: I was like at the end of the year while I was subbing. The students were, it was like the last days of school. Like they said, put on a movie, so that's what I was doing. And as I was watching the class, I was also reading The Order of the Phoenix, and I'll tell you that I was like, I'm not going to cry in front of my students ever, so I'll keep this nice streak. I'm not going to read this anymore. But yeah, I am a fan. I think they are very well crafted movies. Some of them can be uneven, and I never intend to see any of those mystical beasts or whatever that one is. I haven't seen any of them. I don't intend to see any of them. I don't care for Eddie Redmayne as an actor like a lot. I'm sure there are things where he really can shine in.
Are we counting Fantastic Beasts in this? Or are we just looking at Harry Potter?
I don't think we're counting. I will say this: I don't think we should count it as part of this franchise.
Okay.
But I think before you guys jump this up into your top 3, the fact that no one is excited to watch the Fantastic Beasts on this podcast lets you know maybe you don't love the franchise as much as you think you do.
I agree.
Because there are franchises on this list that no matter what they come out with, that it's attached even loosely to this, I'm watching it. I'm seeing it. It doesn't matter how like loose the connection is. If there's a thread, I'm probably watching it. And with this, that thread is not there.
I love the first 8. I love the first 8.
I'll say this: this isn't a franchise that I really revisit. It's not. I really enjoy it, and I think there are great, performances all around. It's an excellently made bunch of movies. However, it's one of those things. I don't know if I would go back and revisit. It gets really sad.
I
You know,
I have revisited. I actually just watched the first one 2 days ago with my kids.
now I would put this in the lower five.
Oh
Where
no, lower five.
I haven't revisited it. I think it's a really good. I think it's a great franchise. There's a lot of other great franchises in this list that I visited like frequently.
To me, this is like number 3, man.
Charlie, what do you think?
I would lean more towards 5. But why don't we start it at 4 and just see how it feels?
Well,
Let's start-
Dylan, where are you falling then?
I agree with 5. I agree
Five?
with 5.
Oh, did you meant bottom 5, like 7, 8, 9, 10? I get you. I thought you were saying 5.
No.
Well, we'll put it at 5 for now.
Okay.
I have hope that this can move up.
You'll have to be the one who's convincing us, then, bro.
Hey, man, 8 solid movies that continued to do well
What's the
with
next one?
every movie. Okay, all right. Next up, we have The Lord of the Rings.
I'm so excited for the TV show. I can't wait. I think it's going to be good.
That is something that would be really good as a TV show. There's a lot of details in those books. And I really enjoy that first movie. I think is just an unbelievably great movie. The second two kind of run together, and they really. I didn't see The Hobbit. Were we including a Hobbit, or is it just Lord of the Rings, a trilogy?
I don't know. I've enjoyed all of them. I even enjoyed the Hobbit ones.
I haven't seen them, which is telling.
I think it's one story, so I say we include them.
Okay.
I have not seen them, hence it goes lower. It's lower 5.
Does that mean we should include Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter then?
See, if we... Yeah, that's tough because I was going to say, well, maybe Fantastic Beasts is its own franchise, but it is linked. It is part of the story.
Dumbledore.
So if...
But that gets really murky if we start going down that road. We start pulling that thread because then that gets to that MCU territory that we didn't want to have. Like, I mean, come on, it's not fair. If MCU has like 30 movies, that's not fair. Of course, that's going to be number 1. But the Avengers are all comprised of characters that have their own. It's all part of the same story, right?
I was only going to talk about the Avenger movies, like the Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame. That's the only ones I was going to include.
Yeah, but like Civil War is as much a part of that story as like say The Hobbit is as part of the Lord of the Rings. So maybe we just, to make our lives easier, if it doesn't have the name of the franchise as like part of it, then it's out.
Okay. However,
sure.
I will say that the fact that if I am disenfranchised, if I become disenfranchised by the end or towards the end, it's going to happen. Like the Harry Potter movies. I became rather disenfranchised. regardless of the Fantastic Beasts. Like as they kind of went on after a certain point, I was like, wait a minute. Hold on just a second. These aren't bad movies in any way.
No. Okay, well, we're talking about Lord of the Rings. Where's Lord of the Rings falling for you guys? I'm thinking 3. Number 3. And I get silence. As everybody says, well, do we crush Brody or
no?
Or
look,
is that too low? Is that too low?
This is a hard one for me because there's only 3 films. Now, granted, they are the length of 6 films.
Yes, they certainly are.
Maybe even 7 or 8 films.
Yeah, throw in those extended editions.
But I do like this. It's definitely in my top 5. I could see it being 3 or 4. I'm comfortable with that to start.
4, if that's as low as it's going to go.
But Dylan hates it, so there's that too.
Not that. I very well crafted movies. I think the first one is unbelievable. It's a masterpiece, and then the next 2 become difficult to differentiate between. Which that is a lower.
I don't think. I disagree.
How many times did they invade that castle? I mean, and I can't remember in both movies. Didn't they invade that same castle where Dumbledore was? No.
Gandalf.
Gandalf was like, look to the
get out of here! If you don't even know which bearded wizard is which, get on out of here.
I was talking about Dumbledore being in the Fantastic Beasts.
All right, Pirates.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Number 9.
I had
9.
10.
That's pretty. No. Shoot. I don't know. I just recently watched all of these. I just recently watched all these with my kids. We powered through them all. We watched the whole franchise. because it's summer break, man. We got to do something. I enjoyed them. Even like 2 and 3 that I didn't enjoy as much in the theaters. I actually kind of had fun watching them. I enjoyed them.
They're fun movies. They're
but
fun movies. Where would you put it?
Is it top 3? No, it's not. I would say
Yes.
I would say 7 or 8.
All right. I can't wait to see which ones you don't like, because if this was a solo, you'd have them all in your top 5 already, and then there'd be no room for anything else that's coming.
I know.
But
I know.
All right, why don't we start it at 8?
All right.
Dylan, does that sound fair to you?
Started at 9.
Started at 9?
Started at 9. Brode said 8. Charlie said 10, and I'm saying
I said 9 to start, so I can. But 8's fine. Brody hates Rocky, so I bet Brody wants Pirates ahead of Rocky. Is that fair, Brody?
I don't know. Rocky 5 was not good. Rocky Balboa I didn't like. I haven't
Rocky
seen
Balboa,
the Creeds.
Rocky Balboa, that was such a touching movie, bro.
No, I didn't like it.
Rocky Balboa was good.
I didn't like it.
Rocky 5 might be the worst movie
No.
out of all the bad movies in this. Oh, no, Indiana Jones.
Rocky 5
Crystal
is bad.
Skull.
Rocky 5 is bad. It's a bad movie.
Bad as Crystal Skull. It's not nearly as bad as Pirates 3 or 4 or 5. I'm not saying it's good, but it's come on, Rocky 4 with the Russian, bro. Rocky 3, Club Orange. That's from Family Guy.
We do get Thunder Lips. That's a plus.
Thunder Lips right there, and we have 2 movies where where Apollo Creed's the back. Oh, Apollo Creed alone is one of my
Creed
favorites.
is good. He is good.
He's fantastic. When he reads that letter to his wife, the fight was fixed. You're a fake. Go kill yourself. I'm like, what a ridiculous thing.
All right, how about 7?
It's so low.
I just watched the life come out of Dylan.
I mean, there aren't. How many Best Picture winners are there out of these 10 movies? I mean, come on, Rocky's. That's a good flick.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings did. It should have won for the first one, not the third one.
Yeah.
But that's the Academy. That's not anything else. However, Rocky is, it's classic. Bro, as soon as you watch it, you want to go and, like, from a boxer.
No, I cannot put Rocky above Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter.
No. Let's put it 7 for now. Dylan and I want it higher, but we'll argue about it once we have everything on the board.
We move Indiana Jones to 7 and put Rocky at 6?
There are more Rocky films that I like than there are Indiana Jones films that I like, if you want to. But I like the character Indiana Jones more than the Rocky films. It's very confusing.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
There's just something iconic about the character of Indiana Jones. I like the character more than the character in theory more than the character in practice.
All right, here's the big one. Star Wars.
Oh, 10.
10. Some of the greatest movies of all time and some of the hardest movies to watch of all time.
Greatest of all time.
Yes, Dylan. Empire Strikes Back is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yes, Dylan.
Are there any others?
A New Hope, yes, is one of the greatest movies of all time.
I love Jedi too. I know it gets some heat these days. But
Jedi is still great.
Jedi.
I still enjoy Jedi.
I think they are great. I don't know. I don't think I would ever say the greatest of all time per se.
I would easily I would.
Greatest of all time.
He's saying some of the best movies of all time. I think that's a reasonable statement, considering the cultural impact, considering the legacy, the length of this is still relevant. How relevant are these movies we're still talking about? And they came out in the 70s, early 80s. We're still yammering on about it like it's current. Love me some Star Wars. The universe keeps expanding. This is probably my number 1 franchise, and it's hard for me to separate the movies and like the Mandalorian and the TV universe as it continues to grow. And I guess probably we're not supposed to count the TV universe stuff, but
why?
But the cartoons, I mean, I love Rebels. This has got legacy to me. Like, this, out of all the franchises that are on this list, this is a franchise I enjoyed as a young child with my father, and I have enjoyed with my kids. There's like just a lineage here, and they're gonna pass it on to their kids. And generations from now, there'll be other generations watching Star Wars films with their young ones.
You remember when we played Star Wars Monopoly?
Also, yes, the best out of all of these franchises, the best Monopoly game, and by far the best video games.
We'll see when Hogwarts Legacy comes out this
year. It could be great, but there's just been so many good Star Wars games.
Sure.
Knights of the Old Republic is like the greatest video game of all time.
That's true. Yeah, this is probably my number one. This is a franchise that I still get excited about. Even though we have some really low lows in it, man, if there was an announcement for a new Star Wars movie, I'd be like, yeah. And my thought would be, man, I hope it's good. But I'd be so excited for it. Okay, Star Trek.
This one's so hard.
I love me some Star Trek. I mean, I love Star Wars more, but I love me some Star Trek.
I love Star Trek.
When it's good, it's so good. And when it's not,
what would you say are some of the best? Just without explaining any of them, tell me some of the best, Charlie, Star Trek movies there are.
Oh!
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest line delivery in the history of cinema.
Yeah, Wrath of Khan is great. I really liked Undiscovered Country. That was 6, right? Even the Next Generation stuff, I enjoyed. Nemesis was.
Wait,
Insurrection.
Part 4, the
whale one?
Huh?
The whale one?
Yeah, the whale one.
It was okay.
What? Have you guys tried to sit through again, like recently, the first one, Star Trek: The Motion Picture?
I watched it about 15 years ago. Man, it's slow.
It is.
It's slow.
What about the Next Generation ones?
Not bad. Generations was rough.
Generations was bad. That might be my least favorite of all time.
Even the rebooted stuff. I've enjoyed the rebooted stuff. Star Trek Into Darkness. The last one, Star Trek Beyond, was okay. It was okay.
That first
where
one.
Where would I put this though? I don't know where I would put this. Man.
Did you guys see?
Good though. It's like, I feel like we haven't talked Star Trek on this. I think maybe we need to have a whole episode just devoted to Star Trek.
We should, because I'd love to talk about Star Trek.
Have you guys watched all of the TV shows? Because I've only seen the original and the Next Generation.
No, I haven't watched the TV shows.
And that's part of the franchise. That's a part of the franchise. Those are continuity.
There's a lot of TV shows.
There's too many.
Admittedly, I have not seen all of them.
I'm not even going to try.
I liked the new Star Trek stuff. We got like a brief free pass for the Paramount Plus or whatever, like the Picard show. Like that was good. It's interesting.
Well, now there's like the Undiscovered Worlds or whatever. That's a brand new one.
The Star Trek Picard was good. I the Below Deck. There's like there's some animated stuff. There's the franchise just keeps churning out stuff that if you're into the lore and the allure of Star Trek, it's good. And Uhura passing away just recently. I feel like maybe we should put this in our top 5 in honor of her legacy.
Over what?
Well, I mean, there's 2 empty spots, so technically, it could go in the top 5 without disrupting anything. I mean, we could put it. I mean, look, like if we're considering the totality of the franchise, you'd be hard pressed to find. This might be the most successful TV. I mean, not might be. This is 100% the most successful television franchise out of all these 10 franchises. I mean, just the legacy of each of those television shows, the rabidness of the fans that fall in love with these different kind of iterations of the show. I mean, there's just so much content. Like if you. Lord of the Rings fans are they're drooling, they're chomping at the bit for this kind of content. How much Star Trek there is in the universe.
All right.
And they can only dream.
Here is an idea, okay? Because if we're looking at whole franchises and we have to look at Harry Potter and we have to look at Fantastic Beasts, I think that it could drop down one because of Fantastic Beasts. If we were just looking at the 8, it would be higher for me. But if we got to include Fantastic Beasts, it just kind of lost me a bit. So what if Star Trek was number 5, and then everything shifted down after that?
Okay, well, put it 3 for now, and then we'll see what comes next.
All right. Wait, 3 above Lord of the Rings?
I don't even remember what the other franchises are. We have 2 empty spots. Just dunk it in one real quick.
All right. Okay, next up we have Mission Impossible. Love this franchise.
These are good.
Love this franchise. Don't worry about number 2. Everything else has been awesome. Everything else has been awesome.
Hey, Tom Cruise had his best hair in the second Mission Impossible.
You remember how popular that was?
Those bangs were fantastic.
Charlie, you had hair like that.
I did. That was like straight out of my high school playbook. Those bangs.
All right, I'm just gonna put it at 2 because I think it's that good.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, we'll come back and discuss that.
Didn't you just say that? You just said put it at 2.
Well, I just want it on the board. I want it on the board. Let's get. All right. Mad Max 10, right?
I really liked Fury Road. The other ones are older. Thunderdome.
Let's be
Dylan.
Okay.
Good movie.
What? What did you say, Dylan?
I said, let's be honest, Thunderdome was not a good movie. Thunderdome is very ridiculous. That Master Blaster, that performance was, and the thoughts and the character. And I mean, just, and then suddenly the kids, we don't see any of those like supercars that they were driving in the first and second. And even with that, it's kind of rough.
But Fury Road was awesome.
Fury Road was awesome, and Tom Hardy is excellent, unbelievable as always.
And the first Mad Max, though, quite a bit different feeling. I think it's.
Well, many believe that the second one, the Road Warrior, or Mad Max, the Road Warrior, whatever.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah,
and I will admit when the feral kid. He throws the boomerang and the guy's like, ha ha, and it just cuts his hand off or his fingers off, and the kid has a protective glove to catch it. You want to get out of here? Talk to me. That was but I mean, it's not nearly as quick paced as, let's say, even the first Lord of the Rings, a lot of the Rockies, not even close to Indiana Jones. And, like, as much as the Pirates of the Caribbean movies can kind of meander and take a while, and you're just suddenly like, this is cool, this is great. How long has this been happening, though? Kind of harder than that. So, I mean, like, as much as I do love Fury Road, and it's great, I still agree with Charlie. It'd probably be number 10. Or if you want to put that at number 9, and then Pirates at 10.
No, I really like Fury Road. I grew up with the first and second one. The Thunderdome, I remember. But I don't know. For 10, I guess.
It's just
it's kind of sad to put it at 10.
Nominated for this list.
I don't want to put it at 10, but also remembering that these are all franchises that we really like, and we're not saying that it's a bad franchise because it's a number 10.
Yeah.
There's just really strong franchises in here.
Yeah. I tell you what, Mad Max needs is like Mad Max was made for an HBO Max television show. Give me 8 episodes. Make it just like Fury Road, but give Tom Hardy more than 25 lines of dialogue. Nice. Let's tell a little bit of backstory, flesh out the story a little bit more, make it look awesome like it did in the movie. It's just missing some more flagship moments to kind of make it really like jump up this list. But that was a fun movie.
How did we not get a follow-up to Fury Road?
I don't know. Waiting still.
That's weird to me. All right. Finally, we have the Avengers.
Oh, wait. This is the one that Dylan wanted 10. Do we need to adjust?
Dylan never said that he wants it at 10. No.
So we have Avengers, we have Age of Ultron, and then...
Which is a lot more rewatchable when you watch it again.
And then... and then...
Infinity War.
Sorry, I'm doing the math in my head there.
Infinity War and Endgame.
I
Oh,
love Infinity War. I could watch and then watch it right over again. I love Infinity War.
I love
Speaking,
Endgame.
what?
I love Endgame.
Endgame is great. Endgame is great. It's hard to go back and rewatch it. I mean, granted, even in the movie theater when I first saw Infinity War, I'm like, they're gonna snap him back. We all know they're gonna snap him back.
Oh,
But in
sure,
Endgame,
sure.
people died, and they're like, nope, they're dead. Even though people like Gamora came back. Soul Stone's not ever supposed to be like changed ever, but Gamora did it.
Okay, so where's this falling for you guys?
It's tough. I
mean, it's got to be top 5, right? I mean,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I think top 5.
Harry Potter's got to go down then.
Well, okay. Now we put Mission Impossible at 2 without really talking about it. Is it that
kinda,
high for you guys?
We kind of skimmed over Mission Impossible. It's pretty high for me. I really enjoy the movies. I can go back and watch these movies. I love the action. I'm an action movie guy. I love the action. I love the plot twists and all this fun stuff. Yeah, this Mission Impossible ranks really high for me.
Okay.
And it's smart.
Does it need to be number 2? I don't know. Do I put Mission Impossible above Lord of the Rings? I don't know.
It's tough.
It's
a different experience.
Okay, so what if Indiana Jones moved to 8, Rocky moved to 7, Harry Potter moved to 6? What if we start there?
Okay. All right, let's start with that. And we're alienating so many people with each of these different franchises as we shift them.
I know. Okay. I mean, it's not okay. I'm sorry if this
we hear you, Rocky Hive.
If this is your favorite franchise of all time. Sorry.
We love all of these.
We really do. We really enjoy every single one of these.
Okay, here. What if Mission Impossible went to 5?
I feel like is that too low then? Based on
what if Star Trek went to 5?
List, if this was a solo list, where would you guys have Mission Impossible? If you didn't have to worry about what I thought or what the other person thought, where would you guys have it ranked?
It's like Lord of the Rings being right there. I almost think Lord of the Rings needs to be at number 3. And then I would almost think, okay, so for just the Brody list, I'm almost kind of feeling like Star Wars, Avengers, Lord of the Rings, Mission Impossible, Star Trek.
What would the Dylan top 5 look like?
The Dylan top 5 would probably be Star Wars, Rocky, or do I have to use only the top 5 up here that we're going to use?
Let's use our top 5.
Fine. I go Star Wars, Star Trek, just because that both of those are unbelievable, like just icons of movies right there. I'd probably then go Avengers, Mission, and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings that low. Whoa.
I liked him a lot. I love the first one. I really do. The masterpiece. Masterpiece. It is so well put together. But I mean, like all of the Mission Impossibles, all of the Star Trek, even all of the Avengers. I can always go back and revisit them. Now, I'm not saying I don't always go back and revisit Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
And I'm not saying that long. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying like.
All right, well, Charlie, where are you kind of landing with the top 5?
I hate this. I just hate it. This is dumb. I think we just end it. No, I don't like. I don't enjoy this. These are razor thin margins. If we're talking just strict rewatchability, and we're talking about the current life stage that I'm in, the Mission Impossibles might have the most rewatchability because that is like where my bandwidth typically is after a long day with 4 kids and just, I'm tired. And that's a nice, like, I'm not putting Lord of the Rings on at 10 o'clock at night after a long day and thinking, all right, here we go. 3.5 hours of movie time. This is my me time. Let's go. Let's relax. And it's not like the Mission Impossible movies are short. I mean, they're still lengthy, but it's just they're shorter and they're engaging enough that I feel like I wouldn't fall asleep. Or I feel like Lord of the Rings is what I put on at this life stage to help me fall asleep. And I don't mean that as an insult. I love the franchise. I really like the movies. They're just really long. It's just hard to fit that kind of time into my schedule in a block. So for me, probably I would move Lord of the Rings maybe a little lower.
Really?
I'd probably put maybe Avengers 2, Mission Impossible 3, Star Trek 4, Lord of the Rings 5. If I was doing it intellectually and not emotionally, my list would be totally different. I think Star Trek's way more important than any of those other franchises. I think Lord of the Rings is more important than Mission Impossible. If we're doing an importance franchise, I put Mission Impossible like towards the bottom 8, 9, 10. It does not have the impact of Rocky or Indiana Jones. No one's dressing up like Ethan Hunt for Halloween. No one's, they're popcorn flicks. They're great for what they are, but emotionally, I really like that. They're great. They're fun. I don't have to deal with Iron Man dying every time I watch it.
All right, so both of you are feeling Lord of the Rings at 5.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it at 4. I probably wouldn't want to push it up to 3. But if we did, I wouldn't be mad. I love Lord of the Rings. I don't know. Just somebody else make the choice. I quit. I'm walking off.
Well, we gotta make a decision. These are the official Talk Bunch rankings.
Let's put it. How about Avengers at 2? Are we good? Is everyone good with Avengers at 2?
Sure.
Dylan, are we good with that?
Are you good with Avengers at 2?
I'm good with Avengers at 2. I think that we should leave Star Trek at number 3 due to just to its cultural. I mean, like Charlie said, the amount of content alone is more than all of these other franchises.
Okay.
I'm fine with this. That looks good to me.
Did we just solve that?
This is fine. This is fine.
Dylan,
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind moving Rocky up to 6, but that's okay.
I agree.
But Rocky 5 is.
Yeah, but Rocky 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
That's true. Yeah, but Harry,
you can't.
Harry Potter
your
1
wife's
through 8.
Your wife's not going to speak to us ever again if Harry Potter is not 6. I mean, she's already going to be mad enough that it's not top 5.
Okay, so Rocky at 6. Dylan, I mean, if we were going by averages, Dylan has it at like number 2. So I feel like it should move up. And if we're counting franchises and we have to count Fantastic Beasts, then I'm fine with it moving down. If we were just looking at the 8 Harry Potter story, then it would be higher. But
I have a question. You guys are both, and I am too. I love the Avengers. I'm surprised you guys wanted it so high. I actually thought you were gonna go for Lord of the Rings to get to number 2, bro. What had you put that at the Avengers at number 2? I love them.
I just love the Avengers movies. I mean, in the grand scheme of Brody nerdiness, my superhero nerdiness does outweigh my Lord of the Rings nerdiness.
What about you? Because I agree.
Yeah, no, I think that having it in the context of the MCU, there are certainly movies within the Marvel universe that I like more than certain Avengers movies. If this was like an a la carte buffet, and I could just take a little bit of this, a little Thor Ragnarok over here, a little and just get to pick my favorites, sure. But if you're giving me one singular franchise in the MCU, that's a pretty good one to get. And you get all the characters basically, all the those first phases in there. So I think that's a strong number 2 for me.
Okay, so it sounds like we're all okay with this, right? Some things didn't fall as high as we wanted. Some things didn't fall as low as we wanted. But we're okay. Charlie, you're still making a face, man. You're not. You're not happy about this.
I'm gonna be making this face for like the next hour, just thinking about this.
Okay, so what would make you happy?
No, this is good. This is good. This is fine. This is fine.
All right. Well, I'm
much like the dog in the burning room. This is fine. This is fine.
A dog in the burning. It's that bad, Charlie? My goodness. No. Jeez, man.
Right?
It's fine.
Charlie's surrounded by fire. Everything's burning down. He says this is fine.
This is fine. This is fine.
No, I think this is a good list. All right. Well, if nobody is going to object to anything else, I'm going to call it that this is the official Talk Punch rankings. Let's list them out. So at number 10, we have Mad Max. At number 9, we have Pirates of the Caribbean. At number 8, we have Indiana Jones. A little bit sad having it that low, but I understand. Number 7, Harry Potter. It's a tough one. Number 6, we have Rocky. Number 5, we have Mission Impossible. Number 4, we have The Lord of the Rings. Number 3, we have Star Trek. Number 2, we have The Avengers. And number 1, we have Star Wars.
Yeah.
Whew, that was a tough one. I wasn't sure if we were going to make it. We went a little bit longer than normal because there was a little bit more bickering, but that's okay. All right. You guys have anything else to add to this?
This is a tough exercise. Do it for yourselves, and let us know in the comments
Yeah.
your order. What are your 10 favorite franchises? In fact, the whole idea for this was spurred on by a comment that one of our viewers gave us the idea.
That's
Brody,
right.
want to shout out the viewer there? We'll shout him out in the description. Shout him out in the description, or do you got
no,
it? You
was
got it on
Tyler. Tyler knew.
All right. Well,
So
thank you, Tyler.
Thank
This
you,
was
Tyler.
So if you guys have ideas for future episodes, make sure you let us know, because we always love hearing from you guys, and it does inspire us. Apparently, we got to do a Star Trek episode next, because I feel like we definitely have not done that enough service talking about it. So, all right, bro, let's take it to the end here. Thank you for joining us at Talk Punch. We always love it sharing this time with you guys, talking about these wonderful, fun things. It's great. This is, of all the things we could agonize over in the world, the slotting of these movie franchises is a pretty fun one to struggle over. So we're glad to share our pain and our agony with you. And before you get angry, just remember how hard this was for us.
Very
so unless
hard.
you're a big Mad Max fan, in which case I'm sorry that we so swiftly put that at the 10.
Still good movies.
It's still really good movies. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and check out these other videos below if you'd like to see some more content. And we'll catch you next time.
See you later.